We've seen during this pandemic that elderly people all over the world are most at risk for COVID-19. In fact, 8 out of 10 deaths reported in the U.S. have been adults 65 and older. Today is World Elder Abuse Day, and it's a day to think of how you can be a voice for their generation. So we're going to talk with Judy Gammon, CEO of Executive Medicine of Texas, author, podcast host, and so much more. She's going to join us with all of her expertise from her home in Southlake to give us a little more on what we can do. Good morning, Judy.
Good morning. Thank you so much for having me today. This is such an important topic.
It is, and I'm glad to talk with you, and you can give us some great info today, so thank you for being here. Why is it important to be a patient advocate for the elderly? What does that mean?
Well, that means you're sticking up for them. You're speaking for them when they can't speak for themselves. But also, it's so important to remember that during this time, a lot of our elderly are in their space and not able to go out. So depression can be high. A lot of anxiety can be high. They're nervous. They're nervous because of things that could be happening to them. And it's so unfortunate. This is also time when people take advantage of the fact that they're scared and they're nervous and maybe they don't have people around them.
Isn't that just terrible? But now we will know, and you're going to teach us some of the signs that we should look out for to ensure that our relatives or our friends who are elderly don't get taken advantage of. And we want to hear from you guys. So if you have any questions, text us your question. The number is right there on your screen. It is 214-977-6028. Now, scammers are using the pandemic to prey on the elderly, as we just discussed. How can we protect them from this?
Well, I think the number one thing to do is to help them become aware. Let them know, hey, we're all getting scammed from time to time. It doesn't mean that you're weak or that you're not making good decisions. These people have gotten really smart. We've all heard about the calls that say this is the IRS, you have to pay us, and there's all those kinds of things, but there's even more going on now. And so just be an advocate for your elderly family member, for your elderly friends, just for people that you know. And if you're a family member, it doesn't hurt to spot check some of their spending. I found something in my own mother's spending that was quite interesting, and I had to say, you sure this is right? Maybe we should look into this. They thought they'd canceled something, but it hadn't gotten canceled. So it's really important to just let them know that you're there for them. You're an advocate for them. The National Council on Aging says that there's abuse in 1 out of 10 elderly people. And out of those, only 1 out of 14 is reported. So it's underreported. We know it's higher than that, and fraud is rampant.
And I believe I heard you say the Skype connection is making you just a little bit muffled, but that you went through your mother's banking account or checking account just to make sure that everything was correct. And that's actually a great idea to do for somebody. Of course, if you have the permission for a family member. We actually have a question from a viewer here. Is it safe for elderly to visit the dentist right now?
It depends on if it's something that's urgent, because it's not safe to have a dental problem that goes unresolved, because that could cause another issue. It's not a time to go right now and go get things like a general cleaning. But if there's a dental issue, for sure, talk to your dentist. I actually had to go to the dentist recently. I felt very safe, and they're following all the protocols. And talk to your dentist. And if you're driving your elderly parent, just know that it's probably best that you don't stay in the room. They're trying to minimize the number of people in the offices. You may be able to drive them there, get them situated, and then go wait in the car while they're being worked on. If you're elderly yourself and you drive yourself, then just know that as you go into the dentist, that you will be expected to do certain things, keep distances, be respectful, and they're definitely going to be respectful of you. And it doesn't mean that they think that you're infectious. They're trying to protect you.
Now, what should you do if you notice another relative is taking advantage of an older family member?
This is unfortunately a big problem. And we see this a lot. At Executive Medicine in Texas, we have a lot of patients that have elderly parents, and sometimes the family doesn't always agree on how to handle things. So getting everybody together and getting everyone on the same page, and then making sure that somebody is there to spot check, that you're making sure that everyone is talking to one another. Because also, when you get into things where you have dementia or you have other health concerns, sometimes it could be deceiving. It could look like someone's trying to harm them when really they're trying to help them. So being on the same page is important, but also just knowing that there is a watchdog out there, someone who's looking after them. And even within spouses, there can be issues with one person spends the money and the other person didn't agree with it. And we just have to make sure that we're an advocate for each member of our family and, of course, any elderly friends that we have.
I think another hot topic that many people think about, and when they're concerned about their elderly, is that they might be in a nursing home or a facility or something along those lines, and they don't know what's going on behind closed doors. And so I believe our next question right now pertains to that. Can I install a secret camera in his or her room? Is that legal? Because it doesn't sound like it.
You know, that's the first time I've been asked that question. I don't know if it's legal, but I would not advise it. Because especially if they're in a nursing home, that means that camera is going to be shown when they're being bathed, when they're being fed, and you don't want your family member having that broadcast out. And a lot of times in nursing homes, there's A bed and B bed, and you definitely could not put that in there where people that have not given consent would be on camera.
Or let's save their dignity just a little bit here, right? But on that, what are some signs that your family member is being abused in a nursing facility or home or something along those lines?
Well, the very first thing that you need to look for are signs of physical trauma. So you'll see bruising, bed sores, or redness where the skin's maybe starting to break down, but it hasn't exactly gone to bed sore yet. We want to make sure that people are getting enough attention. They're getting moved around. We don't want people laying in bed. There's a lot of help that people need, and we know that the nursing homes have been short-staffed, but we also need to be an advocate as much as we can. There was a time where no one could go in and see their loved ones, and that was very scary for the family member. Also, probably scary for the patient as well, because they think no one from the outside is coming in to check in on me. I think the best thing is to get to know the staff, get to know the administration of the nursing facility, learn their routines, let them know that you're playing an active role in the health of your loved one.
You know, and to continue just another step further, how can we reach out to those in the nursing homes, whether we're related to them or not, that might be feeling isolated right now, just to let them know that they're being thought of and we're thinking about them, and you know, especially during this very isolated time?
It is an isolated time, and we have to think about what would they like, what kind of things do they like. Send them letters. You even have flowers delivered. There's all kinds of ways that you can brighten their day. You may have seen that when I came out with my book, Love, Life, and Lucille, which is a memoir about my relationship with Lucille Fleming, who died just shy of her 104th birthday. As people were buying those books for their loved ones to inspire them to keep living, I was writing handwritten notes and sending photos of Lucille and I to them. And I got so much back, so many notes back and letters back and thank yous back. So just that small gesture of giving them something to do, making them feel special, that's really what it's all about.
Judy, I'd love to read your book. Let us know quickly, where can we buy your book?
Yeah, you can go to lovelifelucille.com, lovelifelucille.com, and you can follow all the links there.
All right. Hey, thank you so much for talking with us this morning. It is a very important topic and a very important day. Really, it is important year-round, but we'd love to share some light on that today. So thank you again for spending time with us this morning. You bet you can get a free download of Love, Life, and Lucille, Age to Perfection, by visiting the website you just saw. Actually, it's right there on your screen. We're also going to put a link on our website at WFAA.com.